Good morning, Vice-Chancellor of Federal University of Lafia, Professor Shehu Abdul Rahman, who is here present with us this morning. This is the first faculty board meeting of Faculty of Science, Federal University of Lafia. So grateful and honored to have our Vice-Chancellor in our midst to address us. And he said that immediately after his address, we will continue to our meeting.
The Dean, Faculty of Science, other HODs, professors, and members of Faculty of Science Board of Examiners. Good morning to all of us, and I say happy 2024 to all of us, and to appreciate the Dean for the opportunity given to me to come and talk to the Faculty Board of Examiners. When we had our first Senate meeting this year, I mentioned at the Senate that there are issues which attention of all the faculties will call upon, because when I assumed duty as the third Vice-Chancellor of this university, I presented my blueprint, and that blueprint was presented to Council, it was presented to Senate, presented to Congregation, and we made it available to the entire university community. And not because of anything, because we want to have a direction, and because we want all of us to have movement that will guide us to a point of convergence. And the point of convergence here is the common goal of the university, which we want to achieve together. And if you have a goal and you don't have a plan, you can't achieve the goal. So in summary, that blueprint is just a plan for all of us to follow. And we expect every one of us to be on the same page in whatever we are doing in this university. And that is the reason why we emphasize committee system. So, at the Senate, I told the Senate members that after I spent half of my tenure in office, I put my blueprint down and carry out analysis of what I've done so far. And I found out that from the office of the Vice-Chancellor, what the Vice-Chancellor is supposed to do, using that blueprint, I've covered 80% of it. So the remaining 20% are those things that I cannot implement alone. And are those things that are supposed to be implemented at the departmental level or faculty level. And they are all well spelled out in the blueprint. So I felt I should now put down some strategies on how I can push the faculty and department to enable us achieve this remaining 20%. And one of that strategy is for me to come down to every faculty and mention to you that so far in the office of Vice-Chancellor, this is the progress. And so far, this is what is remaining for us to meet up with that target we are giving ourselves. And the effort of the faculty and department is what we are waiting for. And some of these things that I'm going to mention here, close to about 15 or 13, are issues that I have been emphasizing many of the meetings, whether in my meeting with committee of deans and directors, or at the Senate, or congregations, or when I meet with some other units, I emphasize on all these things. But it's better bring them to your notice, and to also let all of us know that after I've exhausted what I want to do in my own office, I'm coming down to faculty. We are not going to wait for anybody. It's either you are ready to move with us or we leave you out. So we are not going to wait, and before we start taking any action, it's better we should keep people informed that this should be the next thing to do. Because usually I've been telling people that in my own case, whenever I'm giving any responsibility, the first thing is to have my plan in place and make sure that every day, every week, my eyes are on that plan to know what I'm supposed to do every day, every week. And that is what is helping me to achieve whatever I want to achieve in the office. And I can tell you, and that has been my nature, even where I was a pioneer Vice-Chancellor, within 3 years, I also cover what is in my strategic plan 80%. And the record is there. Up to today, nobody can force that. And this is the way I carry out my work, and I don't wait for people. Some people may start talking, our assignment responsibility is hijacked, taken to some. No. Because if you know what you're supposed to do, and you know how to do it, and you plan your activity, nobody will hijack your responsibility. So there is need for me to mention some of these issues for deans and directors to take notes and to make sure that they work hand in hand with all the members of their departmental board of faculty. And the reason why I felt this information should come directly to the faculty is because whatever I want to say for Senate member, I've mentioned it to them there. And some of these issues, if I mention it to them at the Senate, there are some deans and directors or head of department that may not bother to convey this message down to some of the members of their department and faculty. And I felt there is need for me to come down myself to do this. First, we have academic monitoring. This exercise is not being conducted at all in most of the departments and faculties. When I say academic monitoring, in every faculty or every department, there is need to have in place a team that will monitor punctuality, regularity, and quality of teaching of every academic staff. It's very, very important. In my previous university, this is what I did. Even though that one, I did it at the center. Brought some professor and associate professor together as academic monitoring committee. And they will collect timetable of all the faculties. They will share responsibility to themselves, date and venue that they want to monitor academic staff. And as a professor and associate professor in that committee, they will go to any class. What is the time for that lecture? They will be there possibly either 5 minutes or 3 minutes to that time. They want to know how punctual is that lecturer. And sometimes they will even go and sit in the midst of the students and listen to how that lecturer is delivering his lecture. They want to know what is the quality of the teaching. On a monthly basis, they will collate their report together and present at the Senate. Because at the Senate, all the HODs and things are there. If anything is about your department or faculty, they will mention their reports. The HOD of them will note, and when they come to their department, they will correct. This is academic monitoring activity we are talking about. We are not doing it. To the extent now that students themselves, they are the one monitoring their academic staff, and I want to tell you how they are doing it. Last year, I launched what we call the Speak Up program for students. Because we want students to be part of the management of the university. They are major stakeholders, and they have a say on how the university should be run. So don't look down on any students. I launched this Speak Up program with them. First of all, I talked to some sections of them, and at the end we resolved that we are going to have suggestion box in some strategic places for them. And I think we have in about 7 locations. So that on a weekly basis or 2 weeks, a staff from our office will go around to collect whatever students have dropped in those boxes. And I have in my office those staff that will now prepare all those information for me, so that I will sit down and read through and know what are the concerns that students are raising. And this is to give the students opportunity to reach out to me directly. Because maybe not all of them will have opportunity of coming to Vice-Chancellor's office. But I'm giving them through this arrangement. They can give me any information on any faculty, any department, or any individual academic staff. Even though I think we are lucky in this faculty, there is no single staff that was mentioned. But in other faculties, there are cases. There are cases in my hand now where some of the staff, if some of this information should be revealed out, it's going to damage their image. There are cases where students even mention the number of times that a lecturer comes to the class for the whole semester. Students reported this. They even reported the nature of teaching of some of the lecturers. So, and you can see, it's because they are not doing what the HODs or things or professors or with the academic staff should do within your department. And that is the first one that says academic monitoring. We are not doing it. We need to monitor how punctual, how regular, and what is the quality of our teaching. We should formalize it, where we can have few junior academic and few senior academic having a kind of schedule of meetings. You can have up to 6 different teams in a faculty, where some younger ones will be attached to. This is different from the issue of the mentoring itself, but mentorship is also included. They will sit down, they can have a schedule, even if it is once in a week. They will discuss certain issues that will guide them in bringing out some research topics or in bringing out issues around community service, or to even discuss some of the things that may improve the quality of teaching. So, and that is why I say this academic forum for innovation and development is very, very important. Because some of us feel we know it all, but sometimes you can only know your capacity or your potential when you sit with other people in group to discuss something. If you are the one that you are seeing yourself on top of the wall before, go to any interactive session. When somebody speaks, you want to hide yourself under the table, because it shows that you know nothing. But you see, these days, some of us, because of pride, and pride, what pride always causes is to make you to be more myopic. Anybody that is having pride, that person will be myopic. And when you are myopic, you reason less. And when you have all these scenarios around you, at the end, people will value less. And if you want to avoid pride, please always assume that whatever you are today, or whatever you have gotten today, millions of people have gotten it before you, and millions are coming to have it after you. You can only be proud or proud of what nobody on earth has ever gotten. But what is it today that you will be that nobody on earth has ever gotten? Then why are you proud of it? Why are you proud? So when I see some people raising their shoulder and I'm saying, it shows you have no value. Because if you have value, humility is the best thing for you. What are you today that nobody has ever gotten? Millions have gotten it before you. Millions are coming to get it. Then what is new? So why be proud? So it's very important we should have this kind of forum in place. And the only way that this kind of forum can be effective is for everybody to be home. As a professor, when you have this kind of forum, you can learn from the younger ones. And the younger ones can learn from you. But today, it has come to a situation where professors are not accessible. And today, some younger ones feel that professor is nothing. The reason is because we are not interacting. We are not sharing ideas among us. If we give ourselves opportunity to interact, to share ideas, that is where you respect some people. Because one statement somebody will make can change everything in your life. And because of that, you respect him. But when you didn't give up opportunity to come together, to discuss issues, to interact, then you will lose a lot of those opportunities. I've been telling people that there are 4 things that you cannot get back when you lose them. For example, if you want to talk, weigh what you want to say. That is the words of your mouth. When it's released, you can't get it back. And whatever you release it to do, if it has caused any damage, you can't bring that word back to readjust it and send it out to go and repair that. No. Opportunity. Once you use it, you don't get it again. You don't get it again. And even myself as Vice-Chancellor of this university, it's an opportunity. I may not be better than any Vice-Chancellor. But many Vice-Chancellors will come, but you hardly see the person that will have this same style of the leadership. You can't get it, and then you've lost that opportunity. Then time is another thing. Some of us don't know how to manage time. I can see people coming to faculty board meeting late. But any time that you lost, it's about time has value. If you are losing any time or you are wasting time, you are wasting value. The next thing is trust. Once trust is broken, honestly, there are nothing you will do to restore it. You see, these four things, they are very important in life. If trust is broken, it's just like when you have an iron and that is smooth and you just break the iron, that wedding will still show. So the same thing with trust. But in leadership, it's good to build trust, even if it's not easy for people to build trust. But you have to still build trust if you want to be successful, because it is that trust that will enable you. I'm saying this because of some of our HODs or days that like to be doing things alone. And some of the things I'm mentioning here, if you want to say you want to handle your faculty alone or department alone, it's going to be difficult for you to achieve anything. And you will not form a kind of a team to work for you. The next is academic mentorship. That is mentoring scheme. I've mentioned mentoring scheme. I personally passed through this process. I did not start teaching. I did not start teaching in the university. I was mentored to do that. And all the positions that I had or that I'm holding, I was mentored for this. And that is why in the university system, I'm not afraid to handle any position because I have been mentored for that. On the day I was inaugurated at BC of this university, I mentioned it. I said, I'm prepared for this job. I'm prepared for this job. And it is only somebody that was mentored that can say this, can be bold to say this. So it's not that I just came to this office and everybody will bring this information. This man is your enemy, this one do this, and you'll be taking decisions randomly. You'll be causing confusion here and there, and which some people, that's what they want me to do. And I said, I'm already prepared to come to this place. So it's either you'll be aimed out or you follow the plan I have in place. Position of HOD, I was mentored to be there. Deans of the faculty, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, even the position of Vice-Chancellor. My blueprint, I've said it one time, I did not just construct that my blueprint. I consulted with experienced former Vice-Chancellors. In fact, one of them was Vice-Chancellor for over 25 years. Which means there is no university administration, whether within Nigeria or outside Nigeria, that the person did not know. I consulted. This is why we say mentorship is very important. But some of us don't know. What mentoring will give you is wisdom, nothing else. Because mentorship will enable you to shorten the period of your success. If you are to achieve something and it's supposed to take you 2 years, if you undergo mentorship, and they imparted that wisdom in you, you get that thing in 6 months. And why, with all this advantage, why can't the department or faculty put in place mentoring scheme where the younger academic will be mentored by the senior ones? To start teaching undergraduates, I was attached to a senior lecturer. In fact, I'm the one holding his file to class. He will be teaching, I will sit in the midst of students to listen. Today, you do that to any assistant lecturer here, they will feel as if you humiliate them. But they don't know that in the near future, this will be a great advantage. Some of the people I heard their fight to class, and I sat down in the midst of students to listen to them. I became a Vice-Chancellor and employed some of them. So it's not about that, it's about, do you know what you want to learn from people? So it's very important we put this mentoring scheme in place. Schedule of duties is also another thing. I think, in fact, I even presented a position paper to Senate, asking them to see if they can moderate it, so that after all the necessary moderation, we can start implementing this at faculty or departmental level. Because we want to know what is the schedule of duty of a graduate assistant, an assistant lecturer, a lecturer 1, lecturer 2. But today, some of us just think we have the same schedule of duty. And it's not true. Because all of us, our workload cannot be the same. The workload of all academic staff cannot be the same. Some people will carry workload than the others. And if your workload are not the same, that means your schedule of duty is not the same. But which of the faculty or department has a schedule of duty of academic staff? For those that are assistant lecturer, what is their schedule of duty? I presented something at the Senate, and I expect by now they should conclude, and we should see how every department or faculty will start implementing this. And this is very important. It is when we put schedule of duty in place that we can charge every staff to prepare his work plan on daily basis or weekly basis or monthly basis. And that is what the supervisor can look for from any of the individual staff. Because some of us will wake up, will come to office without putting anything in mind to go and do. Or on a weekly basis, you have nothing on paper to show that this is your work plan for this week. And if you want to assess performance of any individual, it's that work plan that you need to enable you monitor whether that person is doing the work and how the person is doing the work. We don't have that work plan. And again, it is through that work plan that you get a response to schedule of duty that will also enable you to assess the performance of staff. I know every year we do appraisal. But you see the way we are scoring staff, 70%, 80%, 90%, and when there is any issue or problem in the department, they will point at somebody. But you go and take the assessment form of that person, they score him even 90%. You assess somebody 90% and you say it's a problem of the department. So how did you assess it? These are some of the things. In fact, it will come to a point where by the time you go fully digital, coming to meetings like this will be reflected in your performance. Because it will be a case of, as you just come, it's either you press a button, it will show you came, and this is the time you came. You will now know whether you are late. That late intensity of your lateness to meeting should be computed, should be part of what should be in your assessment. This is what we want to even do in the Senate now. Subsequently, maybe in the next or the second, this coming Senate or the upper one, we put a machinery in place. The moment you are coming, as you enter into the Senate, it will show you are present, it will show the time you enter for that Senate. And as you are going out, since your system is working, it will cease. And it will capture there that you have gone out of the Senate. So when you leave, everything, I will be able to know. By the time we want to write anybody and say, look, you are not consistent in the Senate, you are not serious with the Senate, you are not responsible to Senate activity, we should have evidence to show. So this is the case of performance. And if you have schedule of duty that enable individual staff to prepare their work plan, that can also be used to trace area of deficiency of every staff. In a university like this, there is need for frequent capacity building, training. But you want to train people, you have to identify area of deficiency where you want to train people. It's very important. But when there is no work plan to allow you monitor what somebody is doing and how the person is doing it, how do you now know that is deficient in one area or the other? For you to even organize training to eliminate that deficiency. Well, in fact, let me even tell you that the presidential visitation panel report shows that this university has no key performance indicator. Completely. A whole university. Key performance indicator, none. There is no any key performance indicator for assessing or for assessing performance of department, faculty, or even individuals. We don't have. It's there in that report. So, and in any system where such is not there, indiscipline will be well spread. Some people will feel they are above the power of the system. They will be doing anything the way they like. But when you have all this in place, and people know that they can be underscored for certain things, everybody will come to his sense and behave well. The key performance indicators, you have to put it in place. I have put a committee in place to generate something for us for implementation. Capacity building is not only the Office of Vice-Chancellor or the University Management that should organize training for staff. Department can organize training. Faculty can organize training. And that is why I said you must first of all know what is the area of deficiency of your staff. Then bring resource person to come and tell them what and what they need to know to eradicate those areas of deficiency. But most of the department, they don't even bother to know what is the capacity of their staff. And that is the reason why we don't have respect for ourselves. You go to some university, among the professors, there are respects. Even if a professor has his professorship 1 year and the other one has 2 years, that gap is a gap of respect. But here, you see a lecturer looking down on the professor. The reason is because there are a lot of formalities in the system that we don't have. There are a lot of formalities in the system that we don't have. And that is why some individuals feel they are above the system. But if you have all this in place, everybody will know its limits. So, training is very important. Quality assurance. I mentioned even at the Senate, I think I gave a position paper to Committee on Things and Directors to go and modify how every department should be presenting reports on the quality assurance of their program on semester basis. And I feel we are going to enforce that. And when we are talking of quality assurance, it's not talking only on the quality of the program. Because when we have accreditation, it is not just the program they look at. What really consumes that program, there are a lot of factors around it. The environment, the facilities, the personnel, the records of staff and students, the kind of training that we give to staff and students, even the management quality of the system matters. How are you managing your department? Are you managing it alone as a dean or maybe as the head of department, or you manage it as a team? So all these are part of the quality assurance we are talking about, which I think some of the variables I indicated in the paper I submitted at the Senate. I think I will ask the DAP to follow up that very critically, and we don't want any faculty or department to be delayed in submitting those information. It's very, very important. Uploading of profiles. Uploading of profile. I think day before yesterday, myself, director of MIS, and DVC Research and Partnership met on this, because for long I've been talking about the uploading of profiles, uploading the profiles of the university, faculty, centers, departments, and individuals. Very, very important. This ranking, university ranking or rating we are talking of, nobody go to any university to see how many buildings they have, how many students they have, how many staff they have. It is the information about your capacity that you uploaded in your website that they collect and rank it. And we have many people that have a lot in place that can project the image of the university. But because we are not visible here, we are not visible on the internet, so people don't know what we have. But some of us, we sit down and be emphasizing facility. But quality is also about capacity. And if you have capacity, the only place as a university where they can know our capacity is our website. Let us upload our profile there. But meanwhile, since the department, faculty, and individuals are not doing this, we have met day before yesterday with MIS and DVC Research and Partnership. We are creating a template already for the centers. We have a template, and they are already following that template. They prepare information, and they are already uploading it. Every faculty will also have templates to show which kind of information we want about faculty to go into the website. The same thing with department and also with individuals. And we are given a time frame. I think the schedule will be out any moment from now. And we are going to have at least some small committees to handle each of these academic units. And for individuals to upload information about themselves, we are going to conduct training. A template will be prepared. We will use that template to train every individual on the kind of information about yourself that will go on the university website, so that can make all of us to be visible on the net, and that will improve our ranking status. Collaboration, or sometimes a partnership or linkage or networking, this is also very important. Even within the faculty. Yesterday I was discussing with officials of NAT, and I said, We are carrying our association too far, even beyond our profession. There is nothing wrong for academic staff and the technical staff to collaborate in a research work. But you go to some university, the only place is when it comes to teaching or setting up practicals that you see academic staff will call the technical staff to. But when it is an issue of research, they don't involve them. And they are very important to in research. So there is no reason why you cannot sit down with the technical staff and prepare proposal for research work. That collaboration should be there among the academic staff, between academic staff and the technical staff. So this will be emphasized, and particularly in the area of science. Any problem you see today has multi-dimension to it. And to solve those problems, you need multidisciplinary approach to research. So none of us would think we want to sit alone and say you conduct a research to solve any problem. So collaboration is very important. We should make it within our faculty, even within the department, within faculty, between departments, between academic staff and the technical staff, between faculty and other faculty, and between university and another university. This is very important. Collaboration can be in whatever dimension. And it's not even about who you know. Somebody will just say, I want to collaborate, and you're looking for the person that is your friend for 20 years. That is not the issue. If you go to any conference and somebody made presentation, fantastic presentation, go and think within your own discipline, what are those things you can bring out to reach out to that person so that you collaborate and bring out a very useful information for the public to solve problems. So it's not about it's my friend, I want to collaborate with him. And also university is not about rivalry, where some people will be in university, they are looking at certain people as their rivals. In university, rivalry does not even exist. It's collaboration. It's collaboration. Because we are in the university to build, we are in university to develop. But if you believe in rivalry, you are believing in destruction. And that is not what we are here for. As a staff of the university, whether you are non-teaching staff or academic staff. Resource mobilization. I know in this university we have some mobilization units, we have some mobilization committee, and people are thinking it's only the university management that should mobilize resources, but we need to know every individual has that responsibility to mobilize resources for your department, for your faculty, for the university. It's not about well, it's the Vice-Chancellor, let him look for. And I've said it for this year, it's going to change. That idea of leaving everything for management to mobilize resources, because I know it's physical. You can do it. It's something that can be practicalized at all levels. We had a meeting, was it last week, of procurement planning committee, and I make sure that all the deans and directors are members of that procurement planning committee. And I told them the essence of that committee is for me to be transparent, to be accountable to the system. And I showed them what government budgeted for us in our capital for this year 2024, and what we want to use that money for. And also mention what third fund has allocated to us in all the intervention lines and what we want to use that fund for. We have told them. And we are expecting university to also have IGR that will be used on certain issues. Now, all the department of faculties made submissions. And I told them that some of the submissions where certain things cannot be captured in the capital budget and cannot be captured in the third form, and by the time we come to the IGR, the university will look at some important areas where IGR can capture some of those things. Then the IGR of faculty and department will capture some other things. So, and it's possible. So, and where you think you don't have faculty IGR or departmental IGR to handle certain things, you look for donations. You look for donations. There are agencies that have activities related to programs in your faculty or department. You can meet them. You have alumni, those that finish from your department or faculty. You can meet them for certain things. They can do it. Some of us have been extending some support to our alma mater. I know in my own department in ABU, about 2 or 3 of us made donations and put in place the e-learning facility for the department. So it's possible. And where you think you cannot get donations, go and look around any agency that has facility that you can use to train your students. We engage them through MOU. You sign, you can go and be using their facilities. So these are options. But nobody should sit down here and think that the university must provide everything that you need. In the whole world, no university has all that they need. Even Harvard University, they collaborate with other universities for certain things. And that is why you see most of the developed country universities, they get resource persons, they collaborate, they do fellowship, and all this is part of mobilizing resources for the system. Because sometimes if I look at some of the submission from some department and the faculty, it's so funny. You see where somebody will submitting something, it needs stapler. Stapler, faculty, department cannot buy. And as we are talking here at that meeting, we've not left there, somebody was talking of pain. The pain of stapling that is not captured in what he has submitted. So you can see how sometimes we ridicule ourselves. You are here told you are there, you need stapler, you are writing to Vice-Chancellor to provide stapler for the faculty. There are certain things that shouldn't come to office of the Vice-Chancellor. Because if you are in any leadership position, one of your responsibilities is to mobilize resources. So if they say you are HOD, you are there, it's not for you to sit down and you want to enjoy your title. You have to work for it. It's very important. For me, I know I'm not sitting there enjoying the title of Vice-Chancellor. I'm working for it. And at that level, whatever position you are given, it's a leadership position. Even if you are a professor and you are not dean, you are not director, you are not HOD, that professorship is a chair, you should know. It's an academic leadership. But we have seen cases where some professors these days don't even want to take any responsibility in the department or faculty because they are professors. They will be out there pursuing money. Because you don't value, there are people that some people that doesn't value their professorship. They don't value their professorship. So, please, resource mobilization is for all of us. response to core values. Have we been assessing our activities in line with the response to core value of this university? If you conduct a research, the research output, how have you assessed it in relation to the core value that we have in place? When we say integrity, innovation, and excellence, some people just read it. They don't inculcate it in their activities. They don't sit down to even reason why should the university from the beginning put this thing as a kind of enduring commitment. Because it's an enduring commitment. Enduring commitment in the sense that every one of us here should be committed to it. Whatever we are doing, we should be assessing ourselves in relation to that core value. But how many of us sit down to look at that? In fact, even if you are in your office, that core value, you are in your office alone, you should be responding to that core value. So, how many of us are doing that? Talking of department and faculty. And it is the responsibility of our deans and director to tell those that don't know, let them know. Participation in e-learning activities. You see, the size of the university is increasing, particularly in number of students, and we have to be putting in place some measures to enable us face these challenges of our population. And in short, for us to also be moving in line with what is going on worldwide. You see a small university now having many thousands of students just because of the e-learning activities. We are also moving to that level. And the earlier we start participating in this e-learning so that we'll be improving along the line and will not be left out. Because I know when we started, a lot of agitation here and there, we don't have facility, we are not having that capacity and the rest. But we have to be bold to look for few hands that are committed, few hands that are ready to learn, and few hands that are ready to develop this university. And we were able to finish one session comfortably. To the extent that now some people are already keying in, trying to see how some of their programs can come up under this e-learning. It's something that all of us should open our mind to accept, and the university is doing all its best to see that the facilities that will make it easy for all of us to participate in it will be put in place. But then, our interest also should be boosted. Use of policy and planning documents. I mentioned at the Senate that there are only two things that my office has not concluded: the paperless Senate arrangement and the production of policy and planning documents. These are the only two things. The moment I have done this, I will know that whatever I'm supposed to do as a Vice-Chancellor for this university, I have done it. The remaining things as I'm listing now, these are some of the things. All these that I'm listing are not my responsibility. These are faculty's responsibility. Because even though there are people that have already customized certain issues in their brain that an office of Vice-Chancellor must be run for 5 years, who told you? If you have a tangible program, 2 years, 3 years, you can do whatever you want to do for university. So, and that is how it should be. And for me, for whatever office you give me, this is the target I usually. When I was doing a faculty of agriculture university, immediately I concluded what I have in my plan. I look for sabbatical, I left the position. But today, the way some people take DNC position, headship, even the office of Vice-Chancellor, as a do or die something because you don't have any idea for future. That's what is killing some people. If you have idea for future, you should not stay in one place and think that you want to finish all your life in that. When I was doing the faculty of IT, it made 7 months for me to finish my PhD. But I concluded what I want to do for the faculty. I've gotten full accreditation for all the programs in the faculty. I have to go for sabbatical leave. The VC was complaining, no, you are a dean, I said, my deputy dean is here. Whatever you ask me here now, if I tell you A, if I'm not there, ask my deputy dean, ask him to say A. So it means continuation is there. I don't need to be there. And this is what I've been telling everybody in this university. I must not be on ground before anything should move. These days, I'm not the one chairing Senate. Now I've chaired the first one for the year. Maybe all the other senators up to the end of the year, I may not even be there to chair it because I don't have any personal interest in whatever that university is running. I have other plans for myself ahead. So I should not keep myself in that seat as if I've already screwed my bottom on the seat that you feel comfortable, you don't want to live there. I've said it several times. I'm a visitor in that office. So I'm a visitor in that office. So that is the reason why, please, whatever position we are holding, have your targets. When you fulfill your targets and you have a plan for yourself in the future, you don't need to be wasting your time. I have seen many cases where some people will even finish their tenure, they will be lobbying about what to extend. Or you leave office, you will be annoyed with the person that is, what do you keep here? That is secret. That you feel. So these are things that you know. The office is not meant for you. I've said it, whether we like it or not. All of us, we have destination. And our destination is different. Because we have different direction to get to that destination. So which means, whatever it is, we all have different dates to leave this university. If I'm to leave this university today, I will not carry PC office to my house. So also any day or HOD. If today you finish your day or you finish your HOD, even as a staff, when you are retiring, you only carry all your books in the office. You cannot carry the office to your house. Where we see some people want to hijack maybe some office that is above their status. When some people will come and be complaining, I say, no, don't worry. The day he will leave this university, he will leave that office behind. So you don't need to bother yourself. So please, I think we need to also be responding to the core values of the university. We should be participating in the e-learning, using the policy document which should soon be out. I think they are the printing stage. Maybe one of the congregation we are going to unveil all these documents so that we all start using it. Student Speak Up program. The Student Speak Up program should not just stop at the center. At the faculty level, it can be done. The dean can use it as a means to monitor activity of his faculty or even the department. For me, when I was there, I have a forum of staff students where you give them opportunity, let them talk. You see, sometimes somebody will be having something in his mind. If you didn't allow him to voice it out, he will continue to use it against you. But if you have a forum and he voices out, I now got your own version. So I didn't know that this is how it is. So sometimes you give even the students opportunity to say certain things about their faculty, to say certain things about their department, That will make them to love their program they want, to love their faculty and department. But where some students feel intimidated and you don't have any forum for them to speak out, they will have all that in them, and even when they graduate from here, they will hate the system. They will see any of you on the road, they will not even greet you. Why? Because there is certain impression in them that you did not allow them to express out. So it's very important that we have this in place even at the faculty level. It will help us. Respect for rules and regulations, or shortly you can say compliance with ethics. Whatever we are doing in this university is about ethics, and it becomes very important that we put ethical code in place. Not because of anything. It's because we want consistency, we want uniformity. Because any organization where there is no consistency, there is no uniformity, that organization will find it difficult to have cooperation of everybody. And where you don't have cooperation of everybody, it will be difficult for you to achieve the goal of that system. And that is the reason why we are always emphasizing that we should always be obeying rules and regulations. No matter how small it is, and no matter how big you yourself feel you are, no regulation is too small for you to obey. And it's very important. As they, as HOD, as a lecturer, as a staff, if you are obeying rules and regulations, that is when you can control the students that are under you for training. But you are not obeying the rules and regulations, and you want to control others to obey rules and regulations. How possible would that be? It is also good at the departmental level, at the faculty level, let us look for means that will enable us to encourage people to obey our code of ethics. It's very, very important. Maybe this my statement will touch some people here. I know I said it in one of our meetings with deans and directors. And I said sometimes when there are rules and regulations, and you are not obeying it, you are insulting yourself. Nobody opens his mouth to insult you, but already you are insulting yourself. What are you telling yourself? That you are not responsible. And whenever anybody come and say, if your student just look at you, oh God, you are not responsible, you want to beat that person, or you want to punish that student. But there are times that some of us, our attitude abuse us. Even before people open their mouth to abuse us, our attitude abuse us, our appearance abuse us. And there are instances where people pray for you more than you even pray for yourself. Not because of anything, because of your attitude. And if people are praying for you because of your attitude, it is you that you are praying for yourself using your attitude. I mentioned it in one of my meeting with some deans and directors. That simple instruction in this university, we say everybody must have his ID card. Simple instruction. And we say it has to be hanging, not putting it here. But you look at some of our staff, even here in this one. That's why I say I'm going to touch on it. We are not doing it. Is it not an abuse to yourself? There are rules and regulations in place. We need to obey, no matter how simple. Regulations is not about convenience, it's about compliance. It's not about convenience, it's about compliance. Somebody came to my office and said, please, I'm allergic. This thing, if I put it in my neck, I said, think on how to solve that problem. But if you cannot solve it, we have Directorate of Research and Creative Thoughts. I will send you there. They will look for people that will come together and tell you what to do. But if it has come to that, you know something is wrong with such a person. And we have seen cases where some people feel, I'm at so level that I cannot do this. Who are you? You are not greater than the university. You are not greater than your department. You are not greater than your faculty. This is what you should put at the back of your mind. And I've said it earlier. No matter what you say you are, no matter what you say you have gotten, millions have gotten it before you. Millions are coming to have it before you. So why are you proud? You can only be proud of something that nobody on earth has ever gotten. Please, if really you want to be a lecturer in the class, and all your students will come with their ID card hang on their neck, you should hang your own. Because if you didn't hang your own, one insult, telling the student to hang their own, another insult to yourself. So we need to learn this. And please, let us not be embarrassed before we obey just simple instruction. It's very important. The next one, digitization of old journal publications that are not online. There are some of our old professors that publish quality journals in those days, but those journals are not online. And because they are not online, they are not visible on the net. And because they are not visible on the net, not many people are quoting them. Not many people are referencing them. And these are quality articles. So the only way we can improve even our ranking system is to make sure that we digitize all our journal articles that are not online. So we have a scheme in place where our old professors that have journal articles that are not online, they will have them digitized, and we'll have a platform on our website where that will be uploaded for the world to access them. Because one of the things that raise the status of a university in the ranking system is the number of references of your work. The more they reference your work, the higher you are also ranked. So all the better your performance in the ranking system. So we are going to put in place a scheme to capture this for us, so that this will enable all of us to know our status, the real status in the ranking system. Because you see an old professor today, 70% of his articles are not online. Only 30 are online. And if those 70% should be online, it's going to improve our status. So it's one of the things that we are going to put in place. By the time we put that in place, we want department and faculty to please encourage members that have those articles to be on our website, at least to improve our ranking system. Another thing is we should also be advising our students to be referencing us. Somebody will be supervising a student in the sole subject area. For all the reference lists, you will not see the name of the lecturer supervising that student there. The student will stand and be referring to somebody's article in US. You are increasing their own ranking status, but your own, the person that is even supervising you are not promoting his image. So these are some of the things that we need to be enlightening our students. Because the moment your students reference you, and that student's work is on the net, another person will reference you from that student's work, and that is how you continue. So these are some of the things we need to be advising ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, I think I've taken much of your time for your faculty boards, but this is the message that I told them at the Senate that I'm coming down to every faculty to mention, because these are your responsibility, not my own. Whatever that I'm supposed to do as a Vice-Chancellor in office, I'm doing it. And I'm not doing it for my own sake, but for everybody. Recently, we wrote to the Federal Ministry of Education that the minister should send his representative to our Appointment and Promotion Committee exercise. Why? Because we don't have council in place, and 2023 is already behind us, and I don't want a situation where we'll be having arrears of promotion. Whether we council or not, we want a situation where we can conclude our 2023 promotion. And thank God the minister approved. We sent people to represent him. We have conducted everything about 2023 promotion. We have sent a report to the minister. So once the minister approves it, it's binding on any council that they brought for us. So, and the moment we get the approval of the minister, we are going to announce or maybe send letters to those promoters. But for those that want to promote to associate professor and professor, we have written them to submit their papers that will be sent out for external assessment. We say we are not going to wait until council is in place. And this is what some universities are doing. They are waiting. They are not doing anything about promotion until council is in place. But because here, the office of the Vice-Chancellor takes the welfare of staff to the paramount. In fact, I have to leave certain assignments and come to hold that meeting, particularly the meeting of the regional assessors. So, but we thank God, we have concluded that, and for those that will be due for promotion in 2024, you can start putting your papers together. We are not going to have any areas of promotion, and that's the thing. So, and for those that are waiting to see their letter of promotion, I will say congratulations in advance. Thank you very much. The message from our office, because I'm the messenger from our office, so I deliver the message, and the next thing for me is just to go back and tell our office that message delivered. I think the day said they now only one or two comments, so maybe I can permit 3 comments. Either question or comments before I thank you.
So much want to thank the Vice-Chancellor for taking the time to come and be with us and then review his activities with us. He did mention about e-learning. That is what I want to comment about. The process was initiated and actually took part in one of the semesters. It is on that basis that I want to humbly advise. I know these videos are good because students can play them and then listen to them in the comfort of their rooms. But the problem here is how accessible are these videos when these students don't have data? Because I know even as a staff, sometimes I like data. I will want to know what the university is going to do hitherto about students accessing these videos or these e-learning materials. Thank you.
Let me read those. We started. We restricted some students. We said those admitted through 2021 admission should go on physical lecture, while those admitted through 2022 admission should go for virtual lecture. So, and we now observe that some of them that are on ground within the university, they were forcing themselves into the other class. So, and on my own, I went around at least to pick some of them. Why are we saying you should attend your lecture virtually and you are going? The issue you raised, that was one thing they raised, that they don't have data. Some of them say they don't have the kind of phone that can access this. That's okay, no problem. Temporarily, the measure we are going to put in place is those of you that are on ground, we are going to have a hub. Since we do not envisage that problem before then, we have a hall where whatever that is there in the video uploaded in our Google Classroom will be projected for you. And they make a schedule, a timetable, where they put the student group by group to attend that lecture. And that was done without any problem. But while that was going on, we commissioned another company, the company, the Google Classroom, company that is managing our Google Classroom. We commissioned them that they should go and make proposal for fiber optics, that will go around the university so that we can have hotspots where students, they don't necessarily need to be in the hall the way we gather them. Even their hostel, they can access this lecture, or any of the area within the university. At the end, the company has concluded that job, and they have identified about 7 locations: the library, ICT center, and hostel. All these building hostel here, and I think about 2 or 3 other academic areas where we have hotspots here. Students can use their phone, even under the tree. They will listen to their lecture. So, and we are addressing this gradually because we have about 3 phases of this line of fiber optics. So we have done the first phase. The second phase is to finish the other remaining faculties, and then after that we extend to the takeoff site. So we are thinking ahead to make sure that whatever facility that's supposed to be in place for e-learning, we are going to put them in place. In fact, we have a plan to see that every faculty even have lecture studio, where lecture will be recorded and edited, and then from the faculty we just switch it up into your Google Classroom. And all this plan is there, but everything has to go with funding. So we are managing the funding to look at the critical stage. We cannot achieve everything at the same time. But I can tell you the stage we are now, even some universities are surprised how we got to this point. Because on one occasion we invited any National Open University, their director of ICT or director of e-learning there to come and be a resource person. And by the time we are giving a review of what we have here, he said they did not even start like that. We are really starting at an advanced stage. And I told them the reason why we have to start like that because the e-learning is about solving a particular problem. So at every university that want to start e-learning, they will start based on the problem they want to solve. So because the problem we want to solve demand for that level of technology or idea, that was why we have that in place. We don't just want to start from the elementary level the way the Open University started there. So But I want to tell all of us here that we are doing well, even just one session of this, and by the time we do another one more session, we'll have everything in place, at least, even if it is not perfect, but to some extent, it will lead us to where we can project the image of the university worldwide. Thank you very much.
My name is Dr. Manage Peter Ayo of the Department of Mathematics. First of all, I'd like to appreciate the Vice-Chancellor very much, the management for the promotions that they had to go out of the way to arrange that the promotion exercise be done. It's something that I appreciate, and we are grateful for that. Just like he has given us a word of encouragement, we hope that very soon we'll get the letters. Thank you, sir. Then, P, on the other hand, is I know the resources are very scarce and limited, especially, and the school is making up a lot of efforts to make sure we have more comfortable places. However, in our Department of Mathematics, we are still having some little challenges, particularly in the area of office accommodation. And we would like to appeal that if there's anything we could do to aid us, as it is. In fact, many people share offices and several senior people even share offices, but even at that, we are still running short because as it is, some of the facilities are going to be used. The one we manage at ICT are going to be used for another purpose, so we are having a serious challenge. If you look into it, we'll be very grateful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. At least enough space in which every department of faculty will be well accommodated. For some of you that know, your department of physics, they are having a building already built for them there. So once they feel that physics will go there, and they will leave some of their space here for you. Also, we are preparing to build faculty of computing, because the allocation given to us for third form for this year, we are dedicating that one for the faculty of computing. So, and we also know even some of the other faculties there that are not yet completed, we are making effort to complete them. So by the time all these are done, at least it may not be sufficient available, but to some extent. And that's how we'll be expanding gradually to make everybody comfortable. But for now, we just have to be patient. I know what it means for people not to have office or offices. But you even thank God, some of you, well, maybe some of you came here from the beginning of the university, when the university started. You know, if you're a pioneer staff, you have a lot of story to tell about office matter. So, and I know what it means because I started the faculty from the beginning. I started the university from the beginning. I know what it means to have office problem. So in fact, in Gashua, when we started, I think my own office, the master bedroom of one flat, and then my registrar, you know, another is this guest room also, and my bossa, another room smaller than. So to the extent that one office, you know, of units of the bursary was in the kitchen. We just have to remove some of those zinc and whatever to make the air look comfortable for. But before I left here, at least we got space for many people to feel comfortable to do their work. So it is a progressive way of improving the system, and that is what we are also doing here. Gradually, we get to where we are heading to. Let us just be patient, and as you know, federal government, I can say it's not doing enough when it comes to issue of capital. Most of the building you are seeing, most universities here, you see that it's TEFON. Even though TEFON, they claim it's federal government, but TEFON is there for intervention. When they say intervention, it's not for you to come and build infrastructure for university from the beginning to the end. Intervention means come and support. But today, TETFund is doing beyond intervention. It's beyond intervention. Most of the buildings is TETFund. And if you see any building from the capital, that building will be there for 3 years before it's completed. Because they will release maybe 30% this year, 40% this year, the next year 30% before that building will be completed. So it's TETFund that is really helping most institutions. But let us just be patient that the little we are getting will be utilizing it maximally to see that we serve ourselves for comfort environment. Thank you very much.
HOD PSB, gender sensitive, to do vote of thanks.
Thank you, my Dean. Thank you, the Vice-Chancellor, for coming to our faculty to speak with us and to sensitize us on the need to work with your blueprints. You have achieved a lot, and we hope we would be able to do as it is supposed to be done based on what you stated categorically to us. Thank you, the management, thank you, staff, and thank you, all the members of the faculty. Thank you.
The Vice-Chancellor, please let me know while the continues.